And above all, don't forget to watch Evil Dead Chicks Top 10.
Hi, I am Ozzy the Wonder Squirrel. Don't forget to watch Evil Dead Chick on Deadites on Deck on YouTube. Oh, and subscribe, man!
Come on down to the drive-in tonight. Evil Dead Chick is screening a slasher double feature. Slasher Fest is here. Bring your popcorn with extra butter, please. Put some soda on ice. Let's go! The blood will flow, the gore will splatter. Forget your stress, nothing else will matter. Except the movies and the memories. Come on down to the drive-in tonight. Evil Dead Chick is screening a slasher double feature. Slasher Fest is here. Here. Bring your popcorn with extra butter, please. Put some soda on ice. Let's go! The blood will flow, the gore will splatter. Forget your stress, nothing else will matter. Except the movies and the memories.
Howdy, gang, and welcome to another Evil Dead Chicks Slasher Fest. And here in just a little bit, hey Tom, hey the poet, we're going to be watching The Prowler, which is actually one of my favorite slashers from the early 80s, and it has Tom Savini special effects in it. So how can you go wrong? A great slasher film with special effects by Mr. Savini. Hey, kids. And it goes along with my February kind of theme of Valentine's Day stuff, because this talks about unrequited love, or this guy getting pissed off because he got a Dear John letter while he was away at war. So, and a very nasty pitchfork to boot. So, we're going to get into that here in just a little bit. The Prowler is very, very good, kids. I love it. Ever since I discovered it, I have loved it. And I was a little late on watching this. I didn't watch this one back in the heyday of me watching a lot of the 80s slashers because I didn't know about it. But when I discovered it, I was like, wow, this one is great. Kitchi says Savini was really nice to me at a convention because I left him alone to eat while others were trying to be rude. Like bros, we can see him in the convention room. Let the man eat his fries. Yeah, I mean, Savini was nice to me when I finally met him, but I was scared for a long time to go up and meet him because I had heard of people having bad, interactions with him. But he was nice as could be to me. You never seen The Prowler? Well, this will be your introduction to The Prowler tonight, Tom. You say, oh, no, he's great. They have a bad interaction with him because they are mean. A lot of the people that I heard say they had bad reaction with Savini, I didn't know them very well back in the day. So they could have been, rude to him first. Oh, no. you know, and a lot of people are that way. You know, people call John Carpenter grumpy, but he doesn't sugarcoat things either. But he was very nice to me when I met him several years ago as well. Could you say he's my type of person? He's kind of, if you are, if you're, let's see, he's kind if you are, yeah. If you're not, he has no problem being like, no, ma'am. Yeah, exactly. Carpenter is great. Yeah, Carpenter was very nice to me and very, I mean, he talked to me for a little bit, and you know, some people say, he's grouchy, he won't talk, and he's kind of your kind. Yeah. That's okay. He says, sorry, my keyboard went nuts. Sometimes my mouse, my keyboard, everything goes nuts. Okay, so I hope you guys and gals have your popcorn. I have my popcorn bucket. And I wanted to show you guys something that hopefully sooner rather than later will be available on my shop site at deaditesondeck.com. And that is the official Evil Dead Chick Slasher Fest graphic for t-shirts and hats, if you want it on hats, or if you want it on a mouse pad or a tote bag. I'm going to put it on a t-shirt for myself. I meant to do this, you know, before this Slasher Fest, but I got lazy and I didn't get around to doing it. But this is going to be the official logo for Evil Dead Chick Slasher Fest. So just keep that in mind for when I get my butt in gear and actually put it on the shop site. Oh, well, kids, that's great. You say I'll buy a t-shirt to wear on my streams too. And you know, kids, like I say, I'm available to do custom work. So if you want a logo done for your specific, you know, your brand or whatever, just get with me about that and tell me what you'd like to see in a logo. And I'd be glad to mock one up for you and let you look at it before you know, decided. You have donuts, kids. Oh, donuts sound good. I have some cookies from, I don't know how many of y'all have a homemade ice cream and pie kitchen near you. I don't know if that's a Louisville thing or they've got these other places. But we have a place here in Louisville called the Homemade Ice Cream and Pie Kitchen that has some of the best ice cream and the best cookies. Like they're these great big cookies, and I got 4 of the seasonal ones. They're smiley faces with little heart-shaped eyes on them for the impending Valentine's holiday, I'm sure. But a kid, she said, I think people call the old school folks mean because that generation doesn't put up with rude. Yeah, yeah, more than likely. Tommy saying the Prowler 1950 is incredible. I only saw that movie last week. It's on YouTube. Gonna watch it again. I'll have to check that one out. I don't believe I've seen that one. Kids, you do custom work too, but you also collab with other people. So I would love to have you do a specific piece one time. You get all the credit. um, well, you just let me know, you know, of something that you might want on a shirt. And I'll, like I said, I'll do a free mock up. And if it's not to your liking, say, hey, Dana, I don't really like that one. And I'll back up and punt and try again. Hey, Steven. You say, hello, Evil Dead Chick. How are you doing today? I'm doing pretty well today. I'm having a good day today. I've seen kids' thumbnails, Tom. You know, I've been perusing her channel and stuff. I bet I'm willing to bet they're better than mine. You say they're almost as good as mine. Kids, you say sounds good. I will work on ideas to bring to you. Yeah, anytime. All right, so I'm going to get my little housekeeping spiel out of the way, and then we're going to get this movie started. And for those of you that don't own a copy, I'm watching the Blue Underground Blu-ray back here. And in case you want to get queued up on your respective copies, I'm 9 seconds in on the Blu-ray where it's showing the black and white. The Queen Mary brings 14,526 vets back from Europe. It's the newsreel footage at the beginning of the film. I do have a YouTube link in the chat at the beginning of the chat in case somebody wants to watch it on YouTube. It appears to be a pretty decent copy. Kit, you said got my DVD going, but I do think it's on Tubi. And Kit says she thinks it's on Tubi. So if you don't want to watch it on YouTube or don't have access to YouTube, if you want to try Tubi, maybe you're watching this on a TV or something, you want to have that going there, or maybe you're sitting in your living room, you want to play it on your TV and you're using a tablet or a laptop or something to watch my live stream. Although you're probably not really planning on watching me at this point in time because we're going to, excuse me, be watching a movie together. The kid says, Tom, I think they are like mine in her own style. It's good to find my type of people. Well, kids, you are definitely my type of people. You and Tom definitely are into Poet and Steven. Tom, you said playing it now. I'll see what it's about. Cool. All right. So I just want to remind everybody that there are several different ways that you can support me and the channel, and it won't cost you a dime. One of the ways is by subscribing. There's never a bad time to subscribe to not only my channel, but anybody else's channel that you're enjoying the content that they're putting out. And once you subscribe, you can hit that notification bell so you don't miss any of the new content that I'm going to be putting out in the future. I do have a new poll up, by the way, for a movie watch along for March the 28th. Saturday, March 28th. And the choices are Popcorn, Demons, and Drive-In Massacre. And if you haven't figured out, it's kind of got a movie theater drive-in theme to the film. So if you want to get in on the voting early, head on over to my channel and you can vote on what you want to be your choice for that week's watch along. All right. So, and once you've subscribed and hit that notification bell, you can hit the like button on stuff you particularly like. And if you like it all, heck, hit the like button all across the board. It all helps. And don't forget to share videos and tag me in them, as Kit's talked about. And here's one more way that you can support me and the channel. It won't cost you a dime, won't cost anybody you tell about the channel a dime. And that's just by sharing my channel handle at Deadites on Deck with friends and family members that you think might also enjoy the content that I'm putting out. All right. And I guess we are ready to get started on this movie. I'll give everybody about a minute or so more before we get started, just to give you time enough to get queued up. Again, I am 9 seconds in on my Blue Underground Blu-ray, and it's on the black and white newsreel footage that says the Queen Mary brings 14,526 vets back from Europe. So we'll get started here in just a little bit. All right, gang. And if anybody comes in here later, we can always give them a timestamp. So let's do the countdown to get this party started. So here we go. 3, 2, 1. Press play. And we are off and running. Now, as usual, these are a little bit more laid back than my watch alongs. So I may not be talking as much through them. So if I get quiet, don't, think anything's wrong or anything. I just got into the movie. That is a big boat, kids. But y'all feel free to, make whatever comments that you want on the film. If you have any trivia you want to share. So here is the Dear John letter. Basically, this chick can't wait for this guy any longer. I like that handwriting too. It's a lot neater than my handwriting. And you know what? I put the wrong, I put my wrong logo up there. I don't know if anybody noticed or not. Let me see if I can change it. I put my watch along weekend logo up. I don't know what I was thinking. Guess I need to put the Slasher Fest one up, right? I must have been thinking I was doing a watch along weekend. Stephen, you say you've always been a fan of monster movies? I like my fair share of monster movies too. I love these dresses. I don't know if all these dresses are necessarily period dresses, but for the 40s. But I really love that one that girl had on just before it showed this inside scene. It was sort of patchwork like and had long sleeves. Stephen, you said what kind of monsters are my favorite? Well, I like Universal monsters a lot. Um, I mean, the werewolf, I've always had a certain fondness for, like Lon Chaney Jr.'s werewolf. So that would probably be my favorite. So this is the girl here in the pink colored dress. This is Rosemary. This is the girl that wrote the Dear John letter. And the other title for this movie, I think maybe overseas, it was called Rosemary's Killer. Stephen, you say, yeah, werewolves would be mine also. Timestamp, Tom, I'm 4 minutes, 59 seconds in. Yeah, I don't like this Roy guy. Kid, you say, afraid someone's going to call your dad. No, dude, you're being weird. And I forgot to say, Farley Granger is in this movie. Not right now, but when it goes to modern times, which for this, what, 80, 81, something like that. Tom, are you saying really about Farley Granger? Yep. If so, yep, he's in this. Coming up, he will be. This guy's a sleaze too. Okay, so the guy with the pitchforks coming. And I'll tell you, this movie pulls no punches because this first kill is spectacular, I think. Yet you said, well, of course the pitchfork is coming. The teens are doing a horror. No, no. Yeah, they are. Darcy, you're not getting on my popcorn. Uh oh. I mean, this is great. This special effect is great. Savini's just the master. Yeah, exactly. Wonderful transition back to the party. And all of that before the opening credits even roll. Be like, everything's normal, guys. It's fine. Yeah, I do too, kids. You say I miss intros to movies like this. It really draws you in. Tom, you say, I love it. It's so American. Now, the girl on the right helping to put the banner up is Cindy Weintraub, who I must say, I mean, she's attractive, but she's way too old for this part, as probably most of these girls are. Um, but that was just the charm of the 80s, right, folks? Kids, I think Tom is our number one fan. And there is Mr. Farley Granger playing the sheriff. Told you he's going to pop up. That hair. If that is not soap opera hair, I don't know what is on the deputy. Yes, Stephen, I agree with you. Sweet 16 from 1982 was a good slasher. And that was also one that I didn't watch back in my heyday of my horror movie watching. That it came later for me. Kids, you say I grew up with both European and American traditions, so it was fun experiencing that. My Oma would say, "Oh, Americans are so fun." Ha ha. Stephen, you didn't see it until 1998. I probably saw it later than that, most likely. Yeah, she said, of course they're going to spike the punch. Ha. I can't stop staring at Mark, the deputy's hair. That is that is an incredible head of hair, folks. Stephen, you say, I grew up watching a lot of them with my mom in the 80s. Oh, I watched a ton of stuff with my mom. My mom was probably almost as big of a slasher fan at one time as I am now. And now she leans more towards haunted house movies, which I also love. But she's kind of moved away from the slasher films. Tommy saying 1981 was a different world. It certainly was. A simpler time. Yes, sir. Oh, I used to watch a lot of Stephen King stuff with my mom too, and my dad. Yeah, I love old houses like that too. There's actually some old houses here in Louisville that are like that. But they've taken a lot of those here in Louisville and turned them into apartments. Old houses definitely do rock, kids. So we're seeing the killer getting ready to go hunting again. That chick definitely is too old. Oh, Lawrence Tierney's in this too, folks. He's the major that's in the wheelchair. And they tell some stories about Lawrence Tierney when he was on this movie because that house that he's in was like a very historical house. And they said Lawrence Tierney was doing things to himself with the ladies that are head of the historical society were watching. So apparently Lawrence Tierney was a heck of a character. Yeah, kids. I'm 18 minutes 32 seconds in. I like this dress that Pam has on too. You're welcome. Always here to give a timestamp. Anybody needs it. I did like House and House too, Stephen. Me and Kits are in sync there because The Evil Dead is my favorite trilogy too. And people ask me what my favorite horror movie of all time is, the original Evil Dead. I say that without skipping a beat. Tommy, say your favorite noir movie of all time is DOA 1950. Amazing. I'll have to check that one out too. Exactly, kid. You say hands down original Evil Dead because it's legit creepy on such a low budget. Exactly. Tommy says so much in that movie. I think I'd pee my pants if somebody scared me like that. I'd be mad. So we're soon going to be coming up on a fantastic double kill. And by double kill, I don't mean that they're both together, but it happens with two people in close succession. Kids, you say, "Oh no, shower scene in Wicked World." There's like an hour long one, and you're just rooting for the killer at that point. I can imagine. Night of the Hunter is fantastic, Tom. I just watched that not very long ago, probably in the last year or two, and I loved it. Okay, so this kill coming up is just fantastic. Classic Savini. Yep, Robert Mitchum is the evil preacher man. Ah, here we go. This is fantastic. And then when the bayonet or whatever is pulled up out of his head and the eyes just go white, it's fantastic. There it goes. This is great. Nobody does it like Savini. Yes, Tom, very realistic effect. That's a very toothpaste green on the walls. Yes. Yes, it is. Kids, you say, what is it with people in the 80s films being like, oh, hey, let's pretend to be like Psycho with the shower scene? Yes, fantastic effects, hands down. Savini never disappoints. No, he does not. Here we go. And then on top of that, we get this great pitchfork kill. That talk about realistic. This looks realistic too. Gosh, it's brutal too. And if you've got your sound on, I can't have my sound on, but I've heard it before. You can actually hear the pitchfork scraping up the wall. So you swear it went right through this girl into the wall. Yeah. Kids, you say it's so realistic, it makes me feel it in my belly. Oh, see, you want all my popcorn. I have seen the nesting, Stephen. It's been a while, but I do remember liking it very much. Great little haunted house type flick, if I'm thinking correctly. Now, Lisa, Cindy Weintraub's character here, is a little bit of a bitch here because Mark came, he came there to be with Pam and to be dancing with Pam and got grabbed by Lisa. Tommy said, I guess Gary isn't there. That was the problem. Yeah, this one is I guess they just call it a graduation dance. Yeah. Steven, you said I gotta catch it on YouTube. It had some scary parts. And kids, you said my graduation was weird. I grabbed my diploma and left in my pure rebellious fashion. Well, and then to add insult to injury, she causes punch to get spilled on that beautiful dress that Pam has on. There's a lot of blondes in the movie. Yep. I have, believe it or not, I have heard some people say that this movie is kind of slow. I'm like, I don't know where. There's a little bit of exposition and stuff, but most of the time you're treated to Savini's great effects. Tom, you say these houses and streets are very American. Definitely. This was filmed in Cape May, New Jersey. I think it's perfectly paced too, kids. I don't know, I don't really understand people saying it's kind of slow. Oh wow, kids, I feel old. You say you graduated in 2009. Y'all know when I graduated? 1994, folks. I didn't mind school, but I just never felt like I fit in. It was only after I graduated from high school that I really found a lot of people that had the same interests as I did. The horror films and stuff like that. School is weird. It can be. Yeah, I think a lot of us, especially those of us in the horror circles and stuff like that, you just always kind of feel like you're on the fringes, which is fine when you connect with people like you, but it's kind of a lonely space to be in when you're surrounded by other people that aren't like you. You said, kids, you said, but all the kids that got picked on would sit by me because the bullies wouldn't mess with them because I was the metalhead hard chick. See, I didn't become a metalhead until later and discovered that there's a lot of great metal music out there. And I'm sorry that I missed out on so much of it. Kitschy saying, I went to a small town school of 400 people. Yeah, you were about like me. Steven says, that's how I was too. I didn't like school either. I didn't fit in all that good. Tom, you say, I think it's worse in America. You belong to us or not. It's very black and white kind of thing. Yeah, pretty much is. Kid, she said, "Woo! All the weirdos here hanging out, watching some cool death scenes." Yeah, but I have a lot of fun hanging out with you guys, and I don't think you're weirdos. You know, we may think of ourselves as each individually as weirdos, but you know, collectively, I think we're fine. We're just having a good time. And I'd rather be doing something like this than hanging out with people that don't want to hang out with me, don't have the same interests as I do. Stephen, you said I wasn't too far behind you, Evil Dead Chick. In 1994 um, was when I started high school. Kid, she said, I didn't care to fit in. I'm proud to be weird. It's okay. Yeah, I say that a lot about myself too. I'm proud to be weird. And I've said this about like zombie films and stuff like that. I thought that zombie stuff was better when it was on the fringes. When you would mention like George Romero early zombie films, and people would be like, who? What? And then, The Walking Dead, even though it started out as being really cool, what it did was sensationalize zombies and commercialize zombies to where they became something that housewives were watching. And I'm like, oh, no, no, this is wrong. I don't know why, but I've got the heater running on me, but I'm feeling some cold air from somewhere. This room in me and Steve's house, where we've got our computers, it gets very cold in here in the winter. That's right, kids. You say, when the housewives are watching a horror show, it's going south. And then you got little teeny boppers showing up at the horror convention that are just there for, some young kid that was in The Walking Dead. And like you got lines looped around the building. And I know it's good for business, but that's kind of when horror conventions started to go sideways. People started overcharging and everything else. I mean, they did that a little bit before, but kids, you say, I'm not a super zombie fan, but like The Walking Dead was the final nail in the coffin. I really think it was because that's when you started seeing zombies in commercials and car commercials and stuff. It's like, what? Why are you doing this? Because it's popular and because they thought it would help them sell cars and whatever else they were using zombies in. Well, folks, we got, see, here's a perfect example. People said this wasn't paced well or it was slow. I feel like no time has gone by at all, and we're less than an hour. We've got less than an hour left of this movie. Kids, you say, I also don't like this modern trend of turning everything into a horror movie. It's like some things aren't meant to be. I agree. I agree with that. They do tend to try to make everything into a horror movie. Every possible situation or object or whatever, they want to horrorize it. Yeah, perfectly paced. Nothing wrong with it. Yet you say it's just watering down the horror genre, and there's so many talented writers out there that are going ignored. Exactly. Stephen, you said the 1999 The Living Dead was interesting. I agree, and Savini was at the helm of that. I thought that was one of the more perfect remakes, early remakes. Evil Dead with Bruce Campbell was the scariest, in my opinion. When I saw it the first time, I couldn't sleep. I think I was just so excited by it because it was just so wild and I actually saw Evil Dead 2 before I saw the first Evil Dead. So Evil Dead 2 was my first introduction to Sam Raimi and Bruce Campbell and all those guys. It was yeah, Night of the Living Dead 90 was a great remake. Steven, you say people tell you that you look like Bruce Campbell. That is awesome. I would take that as a really good compliment. Um, the poet, I would actually like to see Scream 7, and I would like for me and Steve to do a Highway to Hell on it. If I can talk him into it, we'll see if we can go see it. You said the trailer looks good. I'll have to look into that, kid. She said, I like the Psycho Stick song about Bruce Campbell. Kid, she said, I don't even like Scream too much, but Scream 7 looks okay. I really like the first Scream, and I've kind of been uneven about the one since. And I can't stand part four. Folks, I hate to, but as usual, I got to take one of my bathroom breaks. So y'all keep watching. I'm going to remove myself from the stream, but I'll be back in a minute or so. I just came back and I was laughing at what Kit said. She said, "How dare you take a bath or have a bathroom break?" I'm an old woman, kids. I gotta take bathroom breaks. Plus, I drink too much caffeine all the time. Hey, Tom, I like that too. You say I also like rural sheriff goes to the old house, like in the dead zone or misery. Oh, kids, that's awesome that you're working on your own horror movie. You say, because I live in the woods with creepy buildings. I used to live out in the woods when I lived with my parents, but now I live in town. The dead zone did do that well, Tom. You are correct. Pam's dress that she's got now isn't nearly as pretty as the first one. I know it's weird. I think about odd things sometimes. The Dead Zone is an amazing, amazing movie. It's probably one of the best Stephen King adaptations around. And Cronenberg did that one, Mr. Body Horror himself. Yeah, the rose in the film. I'm about to eat all my popcorn. So I'd just like to ask y'all's opinion because I'm sure that several of y'all that have noticed that I've started making a lot of my intros animated. So if you've noticed them, I'd love to hear y'all's opinion on them. Do you like them? Do you not? I mean, it won't hurt my feelings if you don't. Kids, you say I like the intros. It's fun. Get you prepared for the stream. Okay, that's the kind of stuff I like. Even if it's more critical feedback, I enjoy it because it helps me make my streams better. Tom, you say all your visuals are unique, so yes, it's great. Thank you, Tom. The poet, you said the intros are cool. Well, all this is positive. Oh, that's okay, Stephen. If you're not sure, sometimes people come in later after the intros is over, and that's fine. I think this guy here that's leaning up against the wall there by where the guy's puking in the toilet. I believe that guy is on Prince of Darkness, the John Carpenter film. Yeah, kids, that's what I was thinking because when I first started doing them, I had a lot of static images. And then I thought, well, I've got the animation software. Why don't I just make them animated? Tommy, you say he was in a TV series? I always think this is funny when the microphone slides down here in a little bit, and you can hear her say shit, Miss Allison. Stephen, you say animation is awesome. I like to draw and write. That is cool. I like to write as well. I can't draw stick figures. So I depend a little bit on, computer manipulation of stuff. And kids, you say announcement. Okay, kids, it's serial killer time. This is the 1980s after all. Don't break any horror movie rules. And of course, they're going to break every single one of them. So we're soon going to be coming up to another couple of incredible kills. Um, I don't, surely to goodness, there wouldn't be anybody that says that the kills aren't great in this movie. Stephen, you say, best way to start, they told me in junior high school, always start with a circle. I just don't think I'm artistically inclined that way. I'm a better writer than I am like an illustrator. If I wanted something illustrated by hand, I'd have to have somebody else do it. Oh, Riptide. Yeah, Steve told me about that show. You say, yes, I was right. He was in Riptide with Joe Penny. Uh-oh. Oh, and before that, she gets kicked in the face, which looks painful too. Kids, you say I'm a better writer than a drawer too, but I can draw on my computer, which is very weird. Yeah, I don't even think I can draw on the computer. I have tried. Ooh, this is great. And I mean, I know it's a simple effect, but this is just so fantastic. I used to have one of those fake machetes with the part taken out of it. where if you put it up to your throat, it looks like it's going into the throat. I agree. Simple effects are so underrated. Yeah, what Savini and others could do back in the day with the tools that they had, which actually were limited compared with what we got now. But I prefer old school latex type of special effects, latex and fake blood special effects, to the very elaborate but sometimes overly done computer effects. So on top, see, we've got all these layered deaths. So Lisa just got killed in the pool, a very elaborate kill. And now Miss Allison's out there looking for her. And we're going to see another layered kill on top of the one that we just saw. Yeah, the teacher broke the rules being nosy. I was going to set that somewhere, but can't really set it up high. And if I set it down low, my dog's going to get in there and try to eat kernels. Tommy said the insides of the alien facehugger were oysters and shellfish. Simple and effective. Exactly. Less is more. I agree. Here we go. This is, and I know how this was done with different lengths of what looks to be a blade. And so you cut away, you come back, and it looks like it's further in her throat, but it's actually a shorter fake knife going in there. Steven, you say, I think there's a building where I work that is haunted. I heard voices in the garage on Monday. It's definitely possible, Steven. I think the house me and Steve live in is haunted. This is a very old house. It's probably about 70 years old now. And I know people live in older houses, and those are probably definitely haunted. Tom, you say, yes, voices is what we heard in France. Yeah, it's eerie and fascinating at the same time, Tom. You were talking about many, many slight voices. Yeah, that old man is creepy. It's like, what in the world, dude? He's creepier than the Prowler. Yeah, the Prowler just comes around and kills your ass. This guy's creeping around watching people making out. So we got a little over 30 minutes of the movie left, which brings us about down to the last quarter of the film. And, I'm loving, watching this again. I mean, I know I could watch it anytime, but it's a lot more fun to watch it with friends. And I consider you guys friends in here. And I can't get Steve to watch a lot of this stuff now because he's like, I've seen it and I've seen it and I've seen it. I got this heater on a timer. I had to reset it because it's going to get cold in here if I don't have this heater on. Um, Steven, you said what's your next movie coming up? Kitchy say I feel your heat issues. um, let's see, Steven. Let me, because my brain's not as good as it used to be. But I've got a Be My Deadly Valentine slumber party where we're going to be watching Schizoid coming up on Friday, February 13th. It's also Friday the 13th, as well as being the Friday before Valentine's Day. And then I'm having a watch along for My Bloody Valentine on February 14th at 7 p.m. Both of these will start at 7 p.m. Eastern Time. We're going to have one on the 13th, one on the 14th, Stephen. DePoe, you say, who wins in a fight, the Prowler or the Maniac? Ooh, that's a good question, DePoe. I think the Prowler might possibly have a leg up on even Joe Spinell. Because, you know, unless Joe Spinell had that shotgun, um, I would say probably from afar, the he could use the pitchfork and stab Joe Spinell right in the stomach. Stephen, you said that sounds good. Well, I hope several people can join me for those. I'm really looking forward to them. The only thing that looks sort of really fake is Rosemary Chatham's gravestone. I will say that. So it's not Rosemary that's in the grave, it's poor Lisa. Damn, Lisa. Switching from the grape energy drink to the Mountain Dew. Oh, that's terrible, but this guy is just such a lazy person. This guy at the motel where the sheriff's supposed to be staying during his fishing trip. Is that Rolling Rock beer there, folks? Or lodge? I guess I should say lodge. It's the lodge. Small town problems, yeah. You said the guy playing cards looks like our town gas station owner who is completely nosy too. Yeah, that's what happens in small towns a lot of time. Everybody knows everybody else, and everybody knows everybody else's business. I come from a very, very small town. But the thing about small towns is there's a lot of people that, you can talk to, you see out in the grocery store or whatever, and you can say hello to them. Here in Louisville, people will look at you like you fell from the sky and they won't say anything to you. You say hi. It took me a while to get used to that. Yeah, I always thought I wanted to move to the city when I lived in the country. Now I would rather go back to the country. Kids, you say, honestly, my small town is nice. They are just weird in their own way. And get 3 dogs. How about 5, Tom? That's how many me and Steve have in the house with us. And I'm sure y'all have seen them running around and barking and stuff when I do streams. They're being rather quiet right now. I love how this guy's so lazy he made it sound. That is Rolling Rock beer there. He made it sound like he left his area and he never left. He never even got up out of his seat. You're about like me, kids. You got 6 dogs, a donkey, 6 goats, and horses and chickens. Ha ha, I have a funny farm. I have a zoo in my house. A cat that thinks she's a dog. Stephen, you say I prefer country area too. I'd sooner be in the country. I live in a small town. I don't know if if I've told you all the animals I have, but we have the 5 dogs. I have 2 parakeets. I have a bearded dragon, 2 guinea pigs, a ball python, an iguana, and now a dormouse. If you're not sure what a dormouse is, look them up. They're the cutest little creatures. They're a mouse with a squirrel like tail. And they're just so adorable. I had somebody that still comes over to my channel named Davy. I wonder if it's the same Davy, kids. You have a black cat, Stephen? I used to have a black cat when I was a kid. Yeah, yeah. I mean, I'm trying to remember what Davy's last name was, but uh, you say lots of my folks lurk on your channel. Well, that's okay. I don't mind. Kids, you say I live in the country, but the small town is near me. But again, they don't pay no mind to me. I'm just the weird girl on the hill. Kid says, "Hi, Mage. I know you're lurking." I think Mage came in here and said something one of my streams. I can't remember which one it was. Tommy said I come across several familiar viewers in other movie chats. Yeah. Oh, Pam gets mad at Mark here because he wants her to stay at the dance and he's going to go up to the Chatham place alone. Yeah, and that after a lot of stuff that's happened to me, kids, I need a chill community because I don't want to say some of the people I mixed with before were toxic, but they turned out to be not the kind of people that I thought they were, not the good people that I thought they were. Kid, she said, "Pam means business with that hair flip." Yes, she does. And she's back in the Jeep with Mark. So it must have worked. Kid, she say, "Hey, if the shoes fit, it happens. It's okay. I've been through that too." And I think a lot of people have. Um, and like I say, I'm not even popular. Like I've got 1,030 subscribers now. But I still don't, I probably won't ever consider myself super popular, and that's okay. I don't need to be super popular. If there's some people that are enjoying what I'm doing, that makes me happy. Yeah, kid, she said, "Man, being popular is overrated." Well, and there's some people that think they're the bee's knees that need a reality check too. Tommy says she has great hair. I love hair. Mine is going. It's leaving me. You sound like Steve, Tom, because Steve, started losing his hair, and he started shaving it off. He used to have a fake hair, but I told him, I said, "Hon, I said I don't mind that you don't have any hair." I said, "You didn't have any hair when I met you, and I love you just fine." the way you are. But he always talks about guys' hair on movies, especially these older movies. The poet, you say, well, they split up, make it easier on the killer. Yep. Kids, you say, means the content of your creation goes down. I could see that. You said just keep doing what you're doing. Wow, Tom, you used to have hair like Keanu Reeves. That's awesome. Kids, you say, I know Gills lurks on your channel and Paige. Haha, they are my co hosts. Oh, it's, that is fine by me. If they ever want to pop in here and say something, that's fine too. But I don't mind people lurking. Now, if they were being trolls, it would be one thing. But I know these people aren't being trolls. I think some people from my past lurk in my channel and come into my streams just to see if I'm talking about them or they think I'm talking about them so they can go get mad at me all over again. I figure if they know you, they got to be cool people, kids. The lights went out, dude. Sorry, I'm just talking to the movie here. Oh, it's Mr. Pitchfork Man. I'm looking more and more at Pam's hair. She does have gray hair. Oh, Pam, don't go messing with that. Kid, she said, I used to do my hair like hers, but then started wearing my beanie, and I was like, why? Oh, she don't want to keep pulling on that. Oh, I told you she didn't need to do that. Um, I've seen parts of The Strangers from 2008, Stephen, but I never was a huge fan of the Strangers movies, but maybe I need to give them another try. Tommy, you say she's a good actress too, but I can't remember her being in another movie. Yeah, I can't either, Tom. So folks, we're down to the final 12 minutes of the film. Again, this film is not long. It's, as Kit said, there's nothing wrong with the pacing of it. It's got great kills in it. I think so too, Kit. She said, I think if they made it too fast, the kills would be crap. If they made it too slow, the kills would be crap. Yeah, I think this is just right. Yes, Stephen. I mean, anybody can recommend movies to me. You say you want to recommend Dark Corners. I'll have to check that one out too. There's so many that you guys and gals over time have recommended to me. I hope to be able to watch them all. It's too bad I can't have the sound on, but I do remember the music. Oh, Thora Birch. Cool. Kids, yes, I did get your email, and I I do have to find some time. Maybe if I quit doing so many damn streams of my own, I'd be able to go on other people's things. I need to cut back at some point so I can do some collaborations with people. So, kids, do you do a spooky panel night? Do you do those on a certain night of the week or the weekend or whatever? That way, maybe I could plan around and maybe not do something that particular night, so I could collab with you on something. Every other Friday and every Saturday at 9 p.m. Eastern time. Okay. Tommy, you say it would be great. I thought that was funny too, Stephen, when she mentioned gas pixels. I was just envisioning that. Kids, you say two panelists live in Texas and Wisconsin time. So 9 p.m. Eastern time works. Gotcha. Or two panelists live in Texas and Wisconsin. Okay. Well, Eastern time's my time zone, so it would work for me as well. So Otto just shot the Prowler. It's a shame we don't know too much about Otto. Uh-oh. Kichi say mine too, so whenever invitation is always open. Horror Miser comes on once in a while when he's not busy with his streams, and we just get together and chill. I like this fight scene because there the Prowler is with the part of the pitchfork in their back, and they're still fighting with Pam. And we're soon going to get the reveal of the Prowler. It's coming. Oh no, it's Farley Granger. The sheriff was the Prowler. I want to see Get Help too, Tom. I wish I could talk Steve into going and singing that because, you know, it is Sam Raimi. Oh, great head explosion. That was about as good as Scanners. Tommy say it's Farley. Damn. So this is the part when you think, all the horror's over, everything's okay. But us horror fans always know there's usually one more jump to get you. So Pam's going to go back into the dorm. Yeah, that was a great head explosion. Well, there's the Tom Savini as Disco Boy head explosion where he got to blow his own head off on Maniac. That one was fantastic too. Who, of course, Tom Savini did the special effects for Maniac as well. I think so, kid. She said Pam Sarah's the real survivor here. Tom, Rob Bottin, and Nicotero. Yeah. Actually, all the guys that used to comprise K and B are fantastic. Rick Baker, yes, definitely. Can't forget Rick Baker. So here's your one last scare. And apparently, Pam was so traumatized that she saw the corpse of Carl come to life. And this was directed by Joe Zito, folks. I agree, Stephen. Rick Baker rocks. If I was a movie director, I'd get him to do stuff. So, folks, we have officially reached the end of The Prowler. I hope, Tom, since this was your first watch of The Prowler, I hope that you enjoyed it. I hope those of you that have watched it before enjoyed watching it again. Um, I agree, kids. You say Rick Baker is the Bob Ross of effects. Yes, Vicki Dawson played Pam McDonald in this. There's Lawrence Tierney's name. And Farley Granger. Oh, yeah. Kid, she said, I can listen to Rick talk about happy little blood splatters all day. And he's just such a laid back guy. I just love that. Oh, so Rick Baker was on Joe Rogan. That'd probably be the only episode of Joe Rogan I would watch too. Kid, you say you follow his Instagram. He's always doing such cool stuff. So again, I hope you guys and gals enjoyed this going back in the past, this flashback um, slasher fest. I'm watching the Prowler. I've enjoyed watching it again. It's been a little bit since I watched it, so um, oh, if you're talking about sending it to me, kids, that would be fantastic. And I couldn't remember the name of the rock group, but the rock group doing the rock music at the dance is Nowhere Fast, in case you are curious. So they had the songs Disco Blood, View Through a Tear, and Hard Way. And Rose Chatham's letter was done by Sarah Higgins. So she's the one that did that really pretty handwriting. All right, folks. So the credits have rolled on the Prowler. And I can stick around for a little bit if people want to comment some more or got any questions. I can try to answer them for you. Otherwise, I'll probably get on out of here in a minute or so. But I just wanted to make sure everybody got, was able to express everything that they wanted to express. Kit, you say, Tom, my rural area used to be home to silent film studios back in the day. They were hidden so actors and actresses would have privacy. Well, that's cool. So I want to not forget to thank everybody that was here for this Slasher Fest. The poet and Tom and Kit and Steven. Thank y'all for hanging out with me in the chat tonight. I really appreciate it. Kitchi said, I think The Prowler was the perfect flick to do a watch along with, especially if people are new to slasher types. Yes, exactly. And I'm glad that you guys and gals enjoyed it. And for those of you that maybe didn't feel comfortable getting in the chat, or you were watching this live stream on a device where you couldn't chat at the same time, like a smart television, I want to thank you for watching along as well. And for those of you that couldn't join me live tonight or couldn't join me live for the whole thing that will watch this on a replay, I appreciate all you guys and gals as well. Kichi say, no problem. I will always be here when I can. And you certainly have, kids. And Tom's here a lot of times, and the poet's here almost every time. Steven's been coming in quite a bit. Gory Tiger wasn't in here tonight, but usually he comes in. Yes, thank you, kids, for reminding people. Tom, you're going to the restroom too. At least you could wait. I couldn't wait. Kid says, lurkers, I urge you to just leave a like. It helps channels out a lot. It certainly does. And thank you for reminding people of that, kids. Tom says, till the next watch along. And guess it's just don't be like Roger. All right, gang. I guess that is it for me for tonight. But I really enjoyed this. This has been one of the fun ones. They're all fun, but some of them are a little more fun than others. But as always, I'm off like a dirty shirt. This shirt ain't dirty, but I'm off like one. And I want to remind everybody, as I always do before I get off of here for the night, to be kind to one another and blaze that trail. Be sure to tune in tomorrow night at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. Sorry. Yeah, 8 p.m. Eastern Time. I am doing something tomorrow night for Evil Dead Chicks Top 10 Australian Slashers. So if you're curious about what ones I'm going to have on the list, be sure to check that out starting at 8 p.m. Eastern Time tomorrow night. And Sunday, if you can stop by at 8 p.m. Eastern Time, I'll be doing another My Path to Becoming a Positive Renegade Reflection and the Self-Love Club. We're kind of going to be taking a step back and dialing it back for that episode of My Path to Becoming a Positive Renegade. Thank you. Everybody enjoy your night as well. And Kit, you say I'll pop by before my stream tomorrow. Okay, cool. Thank you, Stephen. You said this was good. Good night, everybody. And Kit, you say good night, Stephen. Beware the moon, people. Yes, definitely beware the moon. And I'm out of here for now. Y'all have a fantastic rest of your Friday night, folks. And I'll see everybody next time.